Hey friends, welcome back to this week's vlog. Before I dive in, I really just want to say thank you to all of you who sent me private messages, text messages, personal messages, emails, comments below the video, and comments on my Instagram about last week's self-love masterclass, which was all about energy vampires and difficult family members. It just makes my heart so happy when I know that there's a video that I made that really helps you and makes a difference for you and makes you feel like you have more power and freedom in your life. Specifically, what I want to get into today are the things that a true friend, a really good friend, a soul friend will tell you. Different friends will play different roles and participate in our lives in different ways. I know that something that's really important to me is having friendships that are really true and friendships that help me to be a better person and friendships that help me to grow mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. I would say that that's something that I'm also looking for in a partner too. And I know that that's not always the easy route. It's so much easier just to avoid things or deny things or bury our head in the sand or not really deal with our emotions. But I think that even though the road to true friendship or the road to true love is a little bit more difficult, it's certainly more rewarding. And I don't believe that there are any shortcuts when it comes to love, relationships, and friendships. So for anyone watching this video who is more committed to comfort and safety and just being nice all the time, this video may not be for you. But for anyone who really wants to watch this video because they want to know what it takes to create a deep relationship and a soulful relationship, then keep watching. Can you pick him up and take him? God. Sorry about that, you guys. I had to deal with my cat. You probably heard him meowing, but anyway, I'm back. The first thing that a true friend, like a real friend, will say to you is when you're repeating a pattern. All of us have patterns. I think one of the places where our patterns show up the most is in the area of relationships. So typically, the people that you date have some kind of similar pattern to them. And if you don't know what I'm talking about or don't know what that is, definitely check out the playlist that I have here about love and relationships and watch all of those videos, because that will give you some insight into that. If you kind of know what I'm talking about, then you know that probably the next person that you're going to date, if you're single right now and you're looking for a relationship, the next person that you're going to date is probably going to have some kind of similarity to what you've dated in the past. The pattern doesn't have to be physical. Like I know for myself, I've dated all different kinds of people, but they all kind of have something similar about them. It's important to know what that pattern is so that you're just not repeating the same things over and over again in every relationship that you get into. A good friend is going to tell you when it looks like you're about to a good friend is going to tell you when it looks like you're about to repeat that pattern or when you're actually repeating that pattern. So it could be the way that you're behaving in that relationship. It could be the way that you're seeing your romantic partner. It could be the things that you're complaining about. A good friend is going to be able to notice that because they're outside of your relationship. They've got a very somewhat objective point of view. And a good friend is not going to let you just sit there and make the same mistakes again or do the same things again or blindly walk into the situation. A good friend's gonna say, hey, I know you're like madly in love. I know this looks amazing. I know you're really excited or whatever, but be mindful of this. Or on the flip side, you know, your friend could be like, this relationship is awesome and amazing for you, and you're self-sabotaging yourself again. It's not always the easiest thing to hear, but again, that's what I mean, is a good friend is going to want to be straight with you and tell you these things, even if it's a little hurtful or it's a little upsetting or you might get a little bit angry. A good friend is really going to tell you when your life is a bit of a hot mess. So You know those times in your life when you have no idea what you're doing with your life, you have lost your sense of direction, your life's falling apart, maybe you're not working, you're not in school, you're not doing anything to better yourself, you're rolling into some kind of a rut. Your good friend is going to ask you, like, what is going on with your life? What are you doing with your life? How are you working on yourself to improve yourself? Like, what are you doing to grow and expand your life? A lot of people feel like it's none of their business and they should stay out of it. Those people are maybe acquaintances or, you know, friends that play another role. But your friends that are like your family are going to ask you those kinds of questions because they want to know that you're okay. They want to know how you're doing, and they want to know that you feel satisfied and fulfilled in your life. So even though sometimes it can feel a bit abrasive or maybe even a little bit harsh or scary to say, they're going to say that sort of thing to you anyway because they love you and they want you to be happy. A really good friend is going to tell you when you've let yourself go. Okay, so all things aside, there are times when we're going through a transition, like the death of a family member, the birth of a child, a move, you know, a major reconstruction of a website or something like that. And so, you know, you're not going to look your best, right? Because you're just dealing with lack of sleep or low energy or grief, you know, heavy emotions, that sort of thing. But if this continues for like several months, you know, years, or if you're not even going through a spiritual crisis or an emotional crisis, but you're gaining weight like crazy or losing weight like crazy, you know, you're stepping out of the house looking like the worst they've ever seen you. You don't care about your appearance anymore. You don't care about your body anymore. You don't care about the state of your house. You know, these kinds of things. A good friend is going to call you out on that and say, hey, like, you know, I've noticed that something doesn't look right. I've noticed that you're looking a little tired, or you're looking a little bit stressed, or your home is really out of order. Like, how are you? What's happening for you? A good friend is going to be paying attention to those kinds of things. So they want to ensure that you're not slipping into a depression. They want to ensure that your mental state is okay. And they also want you to be happy again. So they're not going to sit back, you know, in the bleachers or on the sidelines of life and watch as you spiral downward. They're going to stretch their hand out through a conversation and say, what's going on? How can I help you? What do you need? The scary thing about this is a lot of people don't want to say anything because they're afraid that their friend's going to be insulted, or their friend's feelings are going to be hurt, or they're going to look mean or like a bad person, or like they're criticizing or insulting them, particularly when somebody is really sensitive about their appearance, their weight, their house, their life, you know, these kinds of things. But a good friend is going to be able to traverse those barriers and say, no, this person needs help. My friend looks distressed. Even if I'm going to get my head bitten off a little bit, I'm going to go there. A good friend is going to tell you when you're taking things too personally, / you're blowing things out of proportion, or you're just losing your you know what. So they're not going to agree with you all the time. They're not going to be like, yes, yes, you should totally be angry. That woman is a total this or that, or that guy is this or that. They're not going to like add fuel to your fire if they think that you're in the wrong, or you're blowing things out of proportion, or you're not being reasonable. They're gonna say to you, hey, like, I'm your friend, I'm totally on your side, I want you to be happy, and I actually think you need to take a step back, and you actually need to look at the situation from a different way. A lot of us have a lot of people in our life who are yes people or comforters, and they literally act like these big down-filled duvets and comforters to just like shelter us and cushion us. But what a really good friend will do is be there to be a comforter for you in those times when you need that. But they also know how to yank the blanket off of you, or yank the covers off of you, and say, it's time to get up, and it's time to actually deal with your life and look at things from a real healthy, you know, point of view. Okay, and this last one is a funny one that I think you're gonna love, but anyway, let me just dive into it. A real friend is going to tell you how you really look in the dress. Like, you go to try on things, or you go to try on a dress or an outfit or something like that, and you ask, how does this look? A fake friend, okay, or a friend who's just trying to save grace, what is it? A friend who's just trying to save face or be nice is gonna say, you look really nice in the dress. They're not concerned with actually being honest. A true friend is going to be really honest with you. Now, they're not gonna be mean. I've watched some episodes of certain shows where the family members and friends are cruel. They say very harsh things to their friends. That is not cool. However, a real friend will say to you, you know, I like the other dress better, or I think maybe a different size would be better, or, you know, honestly, if you're asking my opinion, I'm not crazy about the color, but if you love it, you know, great. They're gonna be honest with you because they want you to look your best, feel your best, and they care about the image that you present to the world, and they care about what you attract into your life. So I guess, so now what I want to say is, like, what does it take to be a really good friend? For a lot of us, we have to work on not being a people pleaser, and you hear that come up over and over again in my videos for different reasons and in different ways. But when you're a people pleaser, you're more concerned with getting the love, affection, and attention and approval of someone else than being true to yourself, and then as a result true to that other person in the relationship. By working on that, by letting go of needing to be a people pleaser or needing to be this perfect, nice person all the time, you then become a real person and a true person, and a person who can be a real and a true friend. And then you also will attract people like that in your life, because that is what you offer and that's what you bring to a relationship and to a friendship and to everything. I hope you all have really enjoyed this vlog, and I hope it's really made a difference for you. If it has, then leave me some comments, give the video a thumbs up, and, you know, invite your friends and your family to come and watch the video or share it with them. You can also add it to your own playlist, but this will be on the This will be on the self-love vlogs playlist. And yeah, I'm gonna go have some breakfast. I can't even talk today. I'm gonna go have some breakfast. I'm filming this video early in the morning. I haven't had a coffee yet, and I think I really need to get to that. So I love you all so much. Thank you for watching, for giving me your time, attention, and your energy, and I'll see you for the next video or vlog, or on Instagram if you're following me there, or Snapchat, or Snapgram. Okay, let me stop. I love you all. Bye. Mwah.